Welcome back to New Jersey Power and Politics. I'm Eric Lance-Krenner. Last week, I went to Atlantic City to talk with our future governor, Governor-elect Phil Murphy. And while I was doing that, my colleague Karen Lee talked to former Governor Tom Kean to ask him for his advice and his perspective on the latest transition of leadership.
Governor Tom Kean joining us. Thank you so much. Governor, let's dive right into this. First off, your advice for Governor-elect Murphy, first off during the transition period.
We'll take a little time off because it's very different campaigning and governing. It's two different skills. You should take a little time off. Secondly, what you do in that transition with appointments is absolutely vital. I mean, the people you appoint are going to be making decisions that are probably going to decide in many ways if you're a successful governor or not. If you've cabinet members or top officials who aren't giving you good advice, you can suffer. So take time. I mean, really find the best men and women. Really find the people maybe outside your party, independents, whatever they are, but the best.
Right, and you were saying, I remember there was some advice you gave a while back ago, not necessarily somebody who was all in politics, maybe somebody who knows about it, but...
No, I used a search firm. Half the members of my cabinet I'd never met before, but they were picked through an independent search, and they were enormously able, and took about 3 or 4 months until they get to know each other and they get feet in the ground. Then I think I had the best, probably the best cabinet, certainly in recent history.
Governor, let's talk about the election, the gubernatorial election, and the poor turnout. What do you think was behind this?
Well, it's embarrassing to New Jersey. I suspect, I haven't seen the figures, but I suspect Republicans didn't show up. I think when you have a governor who's running at 15, 16% popularity, that doesn't drive a lot of people to the polls. The president is not particularly popular in New Jersey. And so I don't think there was a real, and then the polls all said the Republicans were going to lose. You put those three things together, I think a lot of Republicans said, you know, why bother?
Right. Talking about the numbers, you were well over 60%. You mentioned Governor Christie, he was in the teens. What's the state of the Republican Party like right now?
Republican Party's got to be rebuilt from the ground up. I mean, we've really got to look for, there are a lot of good young people, some of them on town councils, some on boards of freeholders. There are a lot of, there's not material to build with, but we got to forget the old and go to the new. Find some good young men and women and build a party around them. It's going to take a little while.
Right. What do you think the first thing the governor-elect, what should he be doing? He's spoken obviously about recreational marijuana, but what do you think?
Well, I think, you know, in my experience, in my 2 terms, the first term was really fixing problems. I mean, there's a lot of, as he's got a lot of problems with the state, and you got to fix those before you can do much. Second term was really doing new things, looking 10 years, 15 years down the road, and so what does the state need, and what should I be doing? So I think the first thing he's going to do, find the worst problems, get them fixed.
What are our worst problems?
Well, everybody knows about the budget. That's just a tragedy. It really is a bad budget. I had $1 billion deficit when I came into office. I thought that was bad. This is worse, obviously. Once you've started to put a handle on that, you've got to look at what are the best things you can do for the state? What are the biggest needs? What could we be doing to set the state apart? I mean, I think this is the best state in the country. He's got the best job in the world in politics. I mean, if you think of the wonderful diversity, both geographical and people and everything else in the state, and then recognize he has more power than any other governor in the country to govern. It's a wonderful, wonderful job. I mean, I loved every single minute of it. But the power, when I was in the Governors Association, I had a nickname. He used to call me the Ayatollah Kean. Because I had more power than any other governor. So he's going to enjoy that.
Do you think property taxes should be on the top of that agenda?
It's certainly up there, because taxes in general, because, you know, people love New Jersey. I mean, it would take a lot to get people out of New Jersey, but if you make it unaffordable, you know, you're going to lose people. And if you make it unaffordable to the very rich will start bailing out, and then who's going to pick up those taxes? You know, all the rest of us. So it's very important to figure out what is the tolerance. You need money to do the kind of things you want to do, but how high can you raise those taxes without starting to tip the state so people flow out into, I see too many Pennsylvania license plates now where I live.
So then, do you approve of the governor-elect kind of pushing the legalization of recreational marijuana right now as one of the top?
As long as he does it as the right thing to do, and he doesn't just do it as a way to raise money. I've had some conversation with the governor of Colorado where they now have legalized marijuana, and there are real problems. I mean, people get a buzz on, and then they get in the car. If it's alcohol, you have tests. You can find out how sober they are, if they can put them away, if they're abusing it. No such tests for marijuana. So people are weaving around the road with marijuana. It's a real legal quagmire about what you do and how to do it, and it's dangerous. So I mean, those kind of things have got to be faced.
Governor Tom Kean, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
My thanks again to Karen Lee and, of course, former Governor Tom Kean. And that'll do it for this week. I'm Eric Landskroner. We thank you very much for watching New Jersey Power and Politics. Hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving weekend, and we'll see you again next time.